Okay, so this is Euro Aussie on the weekly chart. Let's first start getting used to spotting these V formations. Okay, so the V formation, as you saw in the last video, basically is the last moment the running man with the rubber band man basically stops running. He takes a big rest, right, or it pulls him back quite a bit. So when you take a look at this, starting from here, let's say the markets are going down from here. He runs down this far, rests this much, 50%. Runs again, rests again. Now, some people might get confused in this area where he runs down and he comes all the way back. That's something we don't want. We want to see that doesn't happen to you. When he needs to go back to where he came from. See, he breached this guy. He never made a lower low, but this is the critical part. He needs to go back to challenge this guy to say, okay, that's a V formation. Until then, it's not. Okay? So he keeps going down, going down, going down, breaches the new low, which is right here. Once he breaches the new low, which is right there, look at him. He's coming down again, and then he rests, but he gets up only 80%. Coming down again, rest, coming down again, rest. All of this is in seller's territory. He needs to breach and challenge this guy to call it a V formation. So far, nothing. He gets down to here, makes a lower low, and then comes right back. But then look at this. Boom, right to the top. He goes even through him. That is what we call a lopsided V formation. A lopsided V formation is a lot more powerful, which means the rest was so strong, he not only just gave up, he actually let the other side take over. Okay? Usually a V formation ends up almost at equilibrium, but then a lopsided one becomes more powerful because it's like he just gave up his throne, basically. Okay? So, that's how you spot it. You're not going to be looking at little areas like this. If I say that piece right there, that's not you. Okay? Don't forget that. That's not going to be you. Okay? Amateurs do that, and you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be looking at the nitty gritty stuff right there. You want to keep track of whose territory you're in. You must know your territory. Okay? So these V formations are very, very critical, and if it's read the wrong way, it can give you the wrong idea. Because anyone who's looking at this V formation is preparing for longs after it, and you can see exactly what happens to them. They'll get stopped out. Okay. All right. So let's continue. Let's continue. Let's take a look at some more examples further down here. Markets are going up. They reach this area up here, gets high, no higher high, gets down, gets high, no higher high, gets down, comes down here, goes up to there, comes down to here. Now, for him to make a V formation, the market needs to come all the way back down. So that's a V formation for him, all the way down to here. Now, this one looks like, oh man, I wish I would have known that earlier because that's a big V formation. Unfortunately, when you have the market move that swiftly, that strong, your V formation is going to end up much later. Which means if you're seeing stuff like that, you're better off picking a different pair. Okay? Because a lot of people will be looking at this as a buy once it gets up that strong, coming up to this thing that strong. Any pullback above support equals resistance is a buy, like that. But if this is weekly chart, your godfather monthly chart, for them, they're looking at it as a sell. It's a money spot. Okay? So they see that as a sell. So a V formation for this ends up all the way down to here, but then when you see a V formation like that, you're already looking at this like, oh man, well, I missed a train. That's like really, really far away. So it all depends on how you read it, but you don't want to read the nitty gritty and say, that's a V formation right there. Wait, let me move this. Like that. That little piece right there. If you do it like that, then what's going to happen is you're going to start thinking it's a sell instantly without seeing that you're in the buyer's territory. Now, if you combine this together, however, with your story, the story of, okay, where am I in terms of my big boy? Where am I in terms of my godfather and stuff like that? Then you basically have an idea of which way you're headed and your V formations. Even if you play with it nitty gritty, you get a fair understanding. But notice this. Let's say you did see that as a V formation. You're like, oh man, looks like the buyers are quitting. I should prepare for sells. Will you be able to withstand that whipsaw all the way to the top? And if it does, when it comes down, will you know to hold on to this far? Or after seeing that whipsaw go up that high and your stop loss being enormous, are you gonna say when the market comes down to here that okay, that's it, I'm gonna close it because of how fearful you were when it came up this high that fast? Okay, so that's a little bit psychological. We'll get into psychology in a whole different course, but as of right now, as you see that this can happen, so stick to what I'm trying to show you on how to read your V formations in a unique way. Okay, and that will save you countless amounts of time and effort. Okay, let's go on to some more examples, and we'll take it from there.